Dante, but he's instantly stabbed. Someone does end up waking him up. Potentially that was Punk, just randomly spraying and praying. Jerry takes out Hydration, and Colorhex in a little bit of trouble. Jexay luckily gets the Resurrection off, but Boston still control the point, and no res available now for the Outlaws as Dante and Hydration fall to Jerry. Make that a third as Jerry's Bob ends up cleaning off Mekko. Jexay says he's had enough, he's going to jump off the edge, go for a reset.
Could carry them to an early victory, and so far, Myungbong's taking a sleep and Jerry's getting kills.
Oh no, Colorhex says Nano. Oh, they just run down Dante. So hot right now, the Nano onto Colorhex was enough to finish everybody off. At least Outlaws have a few ults coming back, but it's going to be last fight.
Yeah, it is absolutely going to be last.
That was close. Outlaws didn't touch there for a brief moment. I thought it was all over. Jexay's already going to go down. Hydration's in no man's land. He's to the back. At least Dante gets the pulse bomb off onto Jerry, and Outlaws are still, attempting to control the point. Hydration gets the barrage off, but Myungbong does end up sleeping in. But Dante's in the back, but Myungbong hits another sleep. Oh my god, it's perfect. He's going to be able to take out Dante too. The Outlaws still managed to cap the point, however, the Boston Uprising still have the healer alive there. Blaze is going to be in trouble. He's still got the breather, but that's coming up in a couple of seconds. Not quite quick enough, though, as Fusion Lucio gets back to the point. But Jexay is 1v6ing currently. Hydration trying to get back on the fire, but he's not going to be good enough to make it there. Health bar depleted, and the OT ticking down. Jexay eventually falls, and this should be now the Uprising taking this first stage. Dante managed to kirk off Jerry, but I don't think it's going to be enough here unless he finds something absolutely humongous. Nope, Pulse Bomb takes out Mekko, and that will be it. The Boston Uprising. Field and Ice Block have been used, though. This could be the time to strike for the Outlaws. Repel's looking for a big bio grenade in the back line as well, but Hydration is going to go down yet again. Jerry is going to get saved from that bio grenade, and the window's even going to get used too. Dante falls, and that should be it once again. The Outlaws struggling right now to even gain just an inch of space on this point. They've at least killed Fusions. Maybe this is the start that they needed, but with Blase going down, that's a lot of pick potential fallen.
Hero for this team, and they've also got Baptiste to help out against Pharah.
You've got to be careful though. Immortality Field's going to get used early. Hydration's got the barrage, but it gets cancelled. The Immortality Field's killed by the barrage, but he still manages to make do with the backline. Halo takes him out, but he takes Myungbong and Punk with him. Resurrection as well onto Hydration, and out foregoing the high ground, dropping instantly as soon as he saw that Tracer on the back. Myungbong ends up going down. They're going to use the beat in the high noon simultaneously as Mekko throws out the bomb as his mech is destroyed. Hydration goes down as well, as now the Outlaws need to touch in order to contest. However, the Flux is going to make sure none of them can do that, and Punk and Fusion lay down their ults. Blase is going to bite the dust, and the Outlaws get wiped off the point. The space control from Uprising was perfect, and they take the first map in the series. Well, the high ground has been taken by Outlaws already, as Jerry is forced out here. Not a good start whatsoever. Blase's in a little bit of trouble, but Dante is right there with him to take out Fusions, who was caught a little bit unawares. Another problem here with running the Hog Hex, of course, is the fact that you don't really have a lot. It was very easy for them for Colorhex to follow that up. Pulse Bomb's available for each Tracer. Looks like they're trying to hunt down Jerry, but Jerry takes out Hydration. Pulse Bomb thrown out by Dante, but the same for Colorhex. They both find kills, but a more valuable one on Repel there. Jexay also pops the wings, but actually used the Resurrection earlier on to res Hydration, so Boston Uprising in a very...
round. Nice peel there. The Matrix going to keep the Boston Uprising Hog alive. Fusion's anti-Fusion's... Oh,
yeah, there you go. You see, that's the problem in the Zarya, right? Because you can't actually cleanse that. You're hoping just to eat them as the D.Va. Of course, the D.Va controls the high ground as well, a little bit more than the Zarya can.
For a good barrage to be able to come in. At the moment that Punk gets out of position, the barrage comes in, Jerry goes down.
Yeah, he does end up getting slept in. A beautiful pulse bomb as well by Mekko to save Hydration. Unfortunately, he does get taken down by Colorhex, but the Outlaws doing some dirty work in the backline there. Dante taking the Fusions now with a pulse bomb and even taking out Myungbong too. Oh, it's so beautiful seeing Dante back on the Tracer. The bomb is going to get launched onto the point, but another beautiful thing about Hog Hex, he's got the whole hog pushing everybody away. It's like seeing absolute chaos. Luckily, Myungbong's getting healed up by Halo, end up popping the Valkyrie, and Mekko ends up going down. Self-destruct kills Myungbong though, and Jerry on the backline still finally dealt with Dante, but is it going to be enough? Hydration's taken care with as well, and Jerry is just absolutely popping off. A nano boost onto the whole hog, forcing everybody all the way back, and it's Jerry versus the world. Now his Bob has come in to help, and a bio grenade in the front, taking care of Blase, and Jerry just carrying that last. And now you can see Blase just running everybody down. You see Punk almost got ejected from his mech almost instantly. That whole hog and close quarter situation is a nightmare to deal with. A nano boost onto hydration, but he wasn't full HP because he was actually naded, but it doesn't matter in the end because Meko with a massive self-destruct kills off both supports. 40 seconds remain for the Outlaws. The Uprising spawns are good, but it's not going to matter. That was almost perfect for the Uprising. Myungbong landed.
Go with this dive because you need the peel, and then Jerry's going to try to clean up from a distance.
Oh, he's in the back line. Yeah. That's some Sulky hog if I've ever seen it. Oh, Halo. He didn't see what was coming. Hydration on the top side too with Dante takes out Jerry with ease. They were trying to go codes by Meko and actually got sent down to the low ground. He's got jump off cooldown now, but that nano was literally just a claim point on space on point. Jerry ends up falling to Dante, the exact thing you wanted to see happen. Dante camping the health pack as well, so Myungbong couldn't touch it. And that will be a nice little defense from the Houston Outlaws. And would you look at the ults coming online? I mean, Uprising, they wanted to get...
Target's trying to go for an Ana in the back, but that's going to take 2 dives. You have to dive to high ground, wait for cooldowns, dive again, and Fusions goes down on it.
Yeah, bye-bye Fusions. That's a lot of damage. Blase nanoed, I believe, and just hook and a shot straight into Fusions, and you're going to fall pretty quickly. Only 2 ults used, Dante high ground, but hydration is more than safe to do basically whatever he chooses. Dante and Blase actually end up going down, however, to Punk and Fusions, and now they can finally put themselves on the point. Punk sends out self-destruct to force Hydration and Jexay away from the rest of the team. And Boston Uprising eventually...
He hits Winston's. Anyone who's in the air, he has that trajectory figured out, and you see it right there.
Hydration said, Jexay to follow as well. Nano boost onto Punk once more, just really aiding that damage in the Sky Hex, taking down the Fire Mercy duo with the help of Jerry. And now the Uprising capping this second point. Remember, second point doesn't exist.
Ults here, Boston and Houston. Bob comes in first.
Oh, there's the barrage. Hydration does get slept, but Jerry already falls, so that should be about it. Especially with Jexay popping the Valkyrie, is going to be able to get a free resurrection. Even gets matrixed for it too. Jerry does get rezzed, however, and they do send Punk in once more with the nano boost. He claims the high ground with the self-destruct in hand as well, and manages to chase down Meko. The wall, not where you wanted to land it, but hey, it forces Repel back. Collex finally finishes him off. A nano boost onto Meko though will saw the point out for a little bit longer, as Blase ends up getting a hook in and still manages to stay alive on the point with a breather. Boston Uprising needs to be able to touch. The spawn advantage though for the Outlaws is too great. Fusions ends up getting res, but not really a man advantage here, especially with Dante in the back. He throws out the pulse bomb, and Jerry with the 90-degree body shot onto Dante ends up taking him out. Uprising need to be able to touch the point. They're on it, but the Outlaws are still fighting somehow. Blase eventually gets taken down, and the point does get capped. But my goodness, that could have looked a fair elimination. Overtime has been triggered as Punk ends up demeching on the point. They got to get someone on the point all too long. Jerry manages to kill Hydration, but is it going to be enough? Both tanks still alive, and Jerry, unfortunately, ending his own life there. Resurrection onto Myungbong. Wasn't going to be all too much, and this should be just be it now for the Outlaws. No 33% check mark for the Uprising. They're looking for a draw. It's very possible here. Hydration still on coast, is now up on the high ground. This is exactly where they want him to be. Fusions gets naded and instantly taken down, and Outlaws have put themselves on the point. They only need 33%, and Blase is taking care of Punk as well. Dante just needs this 1v1, but doesn't manage to find it. Color Hex finds the Mega Pack, but Dante's still doing a fair bit of work, taking care of Fusions. Meko gets res, gets back in the mech as well, and Outlaws, they're looking to make this a 1-to-1. Color Hex forced the recall as well. He ends up going down, and that will be it. The Outlaws, they take Nambani, control this Mega Pack room as well, making sure Repel has to play a little bit more safe. Another beautiful sleep onto Hydration. He gets taken down as well. Jerry and Myungbong just taking over this game.
Your Ana doesn't have to worry about it, that your Ashe doesn't have to worry about it either. Houston is still in here. They're going to commit a nano boost onto the Hog.
And now, and they use Bob too. I think it's worth it at this point. They do end up nanoing Blase as well, so both nanos went onto the Hogs. Fusions with a nice halt. Well, not a halt, sorry. I keep calling it a halt hook because I'm so used to having the Orisa there as well, but it is just the vanilla hooks. Hydration ends up falling too. There'll be a lot of ults used, but the time bank, that was worth it, I think. Boston Ups though. Both Divas a little bit worse for wear right now. Fusions unleashes the whole Hog, pushes everybody back for the point, and Blase ends up going down. I didn't think that pushed him far enough, but apparently it did. Fusions gets slept after he managed to hook Meko, but this bomb is going to do a whole bunch of work. Hydration unleashing the barrage. He's getting bathed in the defense matrix, but it wasn't quite good enough. He gets taken down by Byungbong, and Jexay falls as well to a self-destruct. Luckily enough, though, Meko does receive the nano boost, and Dante doing what he does best, flanking on the Tracer and takes out Halo and forces the Boston Uprising background. Nice little good fusions, a headshot, 2, Blase 2 HP. Oh, he gets taken out by Jerry. Punk gets nano, takes himself to the skies and manages to gain, again, a lot of space. A pulse bomb's thrown out too and takes out Repel. A resurrection is there, but look at the bodies now on the point for the Uprising. It's going to be hard for Hydration to really do anything. Punk is going to chase him down with the additional damage from Jerry being laid out. Hydration's going to have to run away. Another nano boost to keep Blase alive, and Hydration, through all the chaos, gets naded and sent to about sub 20 HP, but still managed to take out Jerry. But the resurrection was good enough to bring him back into the fight, and now Jerry can once again set up in the back line, causing an absolute menace. Hydration dead once more. They do manage to claim 2 ticks. The Boston Uprising in a good spot to take the third as well. Another bomb for Jerry, as Color Hex now just cleaning up every single person that just lands on the point. Even a self-destruct forcing out 2. Blase doesn't go down to that, but he sure went down to fusions. They eventually take the second point. I mean, interesting, Jerry's kind of holding the point now, but he can use the coach gun to get back to high ground. Ooh, there goes Hydration. Kalex playing more defensive mode as well. You can see him hanging around, making sure if Outlaws do dive in, he can just punish them for it. Nano whole hog in the front. Fusions ends up going down. Roster's available for Punk, maybe? Yes, he does get back onto the high ground, alive and well. Fusion's Color Hex dead, but Myungbong and Color Hex are, well, Myungbong, sorry, and Punk still fighting on the point. Bob gets launched out as well.
It does seem like Myungbong's back, but not resurrected.
Oh, no.
Oh, into the drink!
And that's bad. That's very bad. But Fusion ends up going down as well, and now Hydration and Dante can run basically wild. Jerry does take down Hydration, but you've got to look at Dante here. He can just sit on the supports, pretty much. There's not going to be too paying attention for him, as the hog is, of course, dead, and now you can see exactly what he's doing. Hydration jumping up to the high ground with the help of Jexet, and that will be it. Dante takes 2 with him as well. Halo and Jerry didn't stand a chance. I mean, ideally, that's what you want, right? You take down the enemy hog, and then you're trying...
Several ultimates. It's the same game for Dante on the offensive Tracer too, but they're going to nano him far.
Oh, what a beautiful air rocket there from Jerry, and he takes down Halo as well with the barrage. Bob is looking straight at him, but Halo makes short work of him. And now the Outlaws with a perfect position on the point. They nano fusions to try and get a bit of space. Another ultimate eat from Meko there too. Pulse bomb from Color Hex goes wide. He still at least finds a kill onto Hydration, who's in no man's land. So this resurrection can't come through. Jerry jumps back onto the creep, and that will be the defense. However, Outlaws still managed to get 2 ticks on this second point, Hex.
Yeah, but for all the flack that Color's
in a horrible situation there. Luckily got out by using the recall. Blase finds a kill onto Myungbong of all people. That must have been a flank hog maneuver. Hydration does fall, but Fusion is going to follow him, so Mercy's a little bit more free to res. Self-destruct as well, to make sure they can create that space. Spawn advantage, of course, for the Uprising, so people getting back ASAP if they're not just resurrected like Halo did there to Fusions. That self-destruct does so much work and enables that. And now Uprising with a man up 2. Repel and Hydration are just going to spawn manually with no resurrections available. Looks like a go again for the Outlaws.
Yeah, Color Hex hit another enormous pulse bomb. They're able to take down Repel. Repel now is that Myungbong is looking for the flanking Tracer.
Well, they do set the bomb out. Nano barrage available from Hydration. Dante takes out Color Hex. Still, spawn advantage though. They will not forget. Oh, Hydration! He's stunned. He has to get out of there ASAP. Fusions end up going down with the Blase unleashing the whole hog on the point and pushing everybody away, but Boston Uprising still managed to touch. However, Jerry end up falling and not quite quick enough. Color Hex dashed onto the point. Oh, Blase. Oh no, he's been spotted. Not quite split himself, just around. Oh, Hydration ends up going down. The dynamite is good. The defense matrix from Meko just secured that resurrection onto Hydration. Absolutely massive. And now Jerry's, look how scared he's playing. He has to deal with Dante. Mobrook's going to be alive, luckily enough. The sleep dart's been used, but they managed to get both Jexay and Hydration. 6 seconds remains. Outlaws now switching on to speedy heroes, as Lucio for Jexay is going to be able to get back to the point ASAP, but Dante falls. Colhex burning the recall, but it's not going to matter. Blase again an inch away from touching the pipe, actually getting back. It's going to be up to Dante to almost escort him and just control the space, so he's going to have a nice angle. A nice hook onto Meko is going to de-mech him. And Hydration, he's trying to get something done. He does manage to do it, but it doesn't matter because Myungbong is finding the kills. That's going to be it. Boston Uprising, they're going to be able to claim the first point. Myungbong and Jerry that can shoot at him. Myungbong has already got 50% towards the Nano. A bio-grenade onto the front line of the Uprising. Fusion and Punk. And it will be Fusion that ends up going down first to Linkser. And Blase just the melee Roadhog now against Color Hex, but Repel finishing him off with a nade. Outlaws off to a good start. Setting up Linkser for success is obviously quite key, and that will be first point done with Halo dead.
Yeah,
no point in recontesting.
Shot going, but right now Houston is fine. They don't have to play super aggressive because there's no pressure on them at all. Nice hook.
Jerry was not expecting Blase to go on the flank again. Punk gets Nano, dives on Linkser. However, look at this payload. It is being contested currently, but Hydration being on the high ground here is hard actually for Boston Uprising to kind of get back, because if they end up going for this touch, Hydration could hide behind this big church structure and then choose the barrage. Punk ends up jumping off.
Outlaws are in no position to be able to help Hydration on his respawn. The hook's going to take out Meko.
Yeah, I mean, you're just waiting for these hooks now as they do come out from this small room. Linkser ends up going down to Color Hex. Fusions with that heal ends up getting jumped on by Blase using that whole hog. Matrix can't last forever, unfortunately. Punk, and he has to phone it in as he ends up going down. And Blase now with the Nano pushing up into this high ground. There's a very good position for Uprising to be in, though. Bob has been sent out yet again. Jerry is doing so much damage. And the
to match Linkser. For the moment, he has to hide out because Infrasight gives Linkser the advantage.
Oh my
Color
word.
Hex has had a rough one. It's been a rough game for him.
Maybe Linkser's already warmed up. He takes the head off of Color Hex, and now Blase with the Nano and the whole hog. Nothing can stop him now. As a Punk might be able to touch here, but it's looking highly doubtful that he's going to stay alive for any meaningful amount of time. And yeah, even with Linkser on the high ground, a couple of body shots in the finishing blows from Hydration should be enough. There you go, Halo falls 2. And that will be the second point for the Outlaws. And now, Hex. Oh, Hydration. He sleeps. Pulse bomb. He's waiting for the Matrix to wear off. There it is. The stick. It landed, but he was already dead. Linkser at least kills Myungbong, but it shouldn't matter. I mean, they managed to sleep for the damage dealer, and Linkser ended up going down, so that should be it. The Outlaws are going to run away. But one thing I do want to mention here as well, Hex, speaking of Perch.
Yeah, Hydration is staying on this Pharah because now that I think about it, his hero pool doesn't really allow him to switch to anything else that's much more effective. Generally thought of as a projectile player. He's getting the damage, and now in Boston in a rough situation here. Whole Hog's got to be big, but that's a nice pick to start it.
Yeah, very nice pick. That bio grenade as well as Collex following up, but he manages to find Jexay too, who went for the res. Linkser is still alive, mind you. Those invulnerability frames are helping him out. Hydration high in the sky with a barrage at hand, but Jerry is taken out. Repel. There's not a lot of healing now available ready for the Outlaws. I mean, it's going to be up to Hydration to find something, but his fuel canisters, they're all out of juice, so he can't get up. What a hook.
Only has the barrage. Huge sleep.
Are you kidding me again? Another massive sleep from Myungbong. Houston tried to get this big flank off with Hydration's barrage and Jexay as well. The sleep into the nade. Linkser clicks 2 heads though. That's what you want to see. And they managed to get the miracle res onto Hydration too. So both Linkser and Hydration being alive is a fantastic way to start this fight. They used the barrage, they managed to find one, and Linkser kills another one. Speaking about being warmed up, Linkser is turned on. Myungbong falls, Color Hex, it's all up to him now to try and defend this payload. They managed to get the resurrection onto Myungbong, and Blase takes out Color Hex. They still control the payload, but the spawns are there for the Uprising. Blase pushing already back with the Nano Whole Hog, but now it is OT. They can't leave the payload as Hydration jumped on Doomfist, as well as the Echo for Linkser to try and get back in time, but Blase is just taking over the game using this flanking hog.
Well, all the kills, all the trades are going to favor the defense here, and Bob might just seal this one.
No, it is Jerry staying alive in the back. Myungbong's being pocketed too. He managed to take out Linkser, but Linkser ends up paying him in kind, but the healing was too great for them to do anything.
Gets him a little bit of space at the very least. They've been nanoing Punk constantly, and Linkser, just too many targets around, gets taken out, resurrected immediately, and they take out Jerry in kind.
Blase is permanently on the flank, mate, by the way. This is ridiculous. Pulse bomb from Color Hex goes a little bit wide, but Blase went on the flank, killed Jerry, but then gets taken out himself, and that just left, well, an easy resurrection. if you are Boston Uprising. Fusions gets anti-naded, but still Boston Uprising are pushing forward. Colorhex has managed to isolate the Mercy in the back. Jexay doesn't really stand a chance here. He goes down, and this is the Uprising taking the point all the way to first. Melo moving again.
Yeah, there should be plenty of pressure, though. That's a nice return kill onto the Youngbong.
God, we spoke about Linksa maybe not being warmed up enough, you know, all this weight of the world on his shoulders, but he is proving that he don't need no warm-ups. He is ready for action. Barrage onto the Mega Pack room as well. Yeah, goodbye, Jerry. You ain't surviving that one. Mecha with the perfect, the Matrix as well to make sure he's been the name of the game for so long at this point. Just nano the team again to the high ground, take out one of the DPS, or at least try to. The Resurrection is coming through. Can he stop it? Yes, he can. Jexay and Linksa end up going down. 2 Punk with the nano, and now the Uprising are in a good spot. Fusions also has the whole hog too, so he can just force the Outlaws from away from the point. Self-destruct from Meko as he gets demech'd. Doesn't find anything, but Fusions finds him yet again and desuits him. Yeah, Repel fighting for his life. He's got Jexay at his back, but it's going to be all up to Linksa. Self-destruct and a whole hog. It kills Linksa, just clips his kneecap, I think.
The duel's been pretty even. ColorX needs to hit a stick here.
Oh, hydration. Oh, the stick. Oh, it gets eaten again. Meko once more eating another ult. ColorX is having the worst time getting his pulse bombs off. Blase, with a right click, manages to kill off Jerry. Good start. The Resurrection, I believe, was already used too, but Fusions pays Blase a little bit of visit. He was staying there way too long, and now Punk gets nano once again. He's now on the high ground. This is disaster for the Houston Outlaws. Repel is going to go down as well, and they control the payload.
Punk is all over the place. He has been the most important damage hog to buy them time. Barrage has to find somebody. They take off Blase.
Hydration's got a barrage, but he can't do anything. The sleep on diffusions is massive. It stops the whole hog, but the damage is really there. Jexay falls. The Resurrection onto Jerry as well. It looks all about over. Jerry's bomb, but Jerry do it.